Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Horror Film Lovers First Time Watch Fridays here on Horror Film Lovers. Wow, I just did that the wrong way. Anyway, it's late at night here. It's 11 o'clock my time. It's what, 10 o'clock your time?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. 10 o'clock my
Ugh.
time.
Ugh. So we are here to talk about Amityville Cop. Oh, I forgot to introduce my guest. Please
It's like
welcome my special guest, Dale A Niehaus. How you doing, Dale?
I am like you. It's late, tired, but I'm here, and it's hot outside, but not too bad tonight.
It's funny because this episode will be like in the fall that'll come out. So like we're talking about it being hot. Like it's fucking summer still here, you know?
Well, dude, in September in Oklahoma, it's like bipolar weather state, so it could be hot in September still.
It could be. Or it could be
Yeah.
snowing.
Oh God, yeah. It's done that before too, and it's also been 70 to 80 degrees in December. So.
No. I like my
Yeah,
weather to be normal.
I know you
Um,
do.
sorry, I'm eating a cookie. Um,
Cookie, cookie. All right.
I almost choked on it. I would have been, you know, because you can't help me when you're on
I
the other side of the camera. So
like
you
give you the
can't give me the Heimlich. So I'm
no.
screwed.
I just be like, "Hey, Jonathan, are you all right? Come on, breathe, bud, breathe. Okay, it's just okay. Just like cough it up, man. Come on."
Oh, we're supposed to be talking about a movie, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Not about choking on cookies and stuff. Yeah, we'll be talking about the movie.
So we're here to talk about Amityville Cop, a movie that I picked because it was just read. Actually, I picked it because I was going through a thing where I was like, okay, well, we need sort of different movies that we haven't done yet. And I think we've done a few like Amityville ones for these ones I've done. But but I was like, all right, let me do Amityville and then maybe I'll do a shark one and I'll do a, you know what I mean? All whatever's like big on Tubi kind of thing.
Right.
So I went to Tubi and I looked up Amityville and I'd seen a lot of the Amityville movies. And so this had to be a first time watch for me. So it was a first time watch for you too, right?
Yeah, very
That's
first time. I never heard of it before you mentioned it, man.
yeah, so I had to do Amityville Cop because, it's Maniac Cop. Don't It's Zombie Cop. It's all those cop movies kind of rolled into one movie. Um it it was what it is, like what did you think?
Yeah, it pretty much was. It was all that rolled into one, like you just described it. It was definitely a mixture of all those. I think the cop creature though that was interesting.
I mean, he was a demon basically, so he's a demon cop.
Yeah, yeah, I think Demon Cop basically is maybe demon possessed. It was oh yeah, they had like the satanic cult thing, whatever, that was trying to or to do something with them.
So I mean, was he like a god that came into him or something? Like, or what was he? Like, I mean, because he
See,
was that person, he was just that person evil, you know?
yeah, he was a regular cop at first, and then he was tied down in that circle and that satanic cult. I think like did something, conjured up something, and then like yeah, I think he became some demonic god or something. Yeah, it was.
And then he
I,
like disappeared like for a while or whatever, like took a break.
I know that was weird. He's like the other guy showed up and he was like, basically, see you later, and then he just disappeared. I'm like, wait, what? Why would he just disappear like that? It kind of threw me off. I was like, what is he doing?
And he even said, I'm gonna disappear and then I'll be back. I'm like, all right, sure. Come on back years
Nope.
later
No, whatever.
and look exactly the same,
Yeah.
like they had not changed at all.
Well, and it was definitely one of those. I mean, it was definitely an indie film. You could tell. And the makeup and department for the creature, yeah, they probably didn't have a whole lot of budget for that. So I guess they just worked with what they had.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of the characters were a bit over the top. I mean, that was kind of, I guess that is what this movie is. So like it didn't bother me, like I knew going in that a movie called Amityville Cop wasn't gonna be like serious, at all. It's gonna
Yeah.
be very over the top and stupid and silly and but you know, all in all, I mean I sort of had fun. I don't know, like I sort of enjoyed it. Um so let me break down what it says on, IMDb for the story.
Yes.
It says,
Yes.
as a spate of brutal homicides, spate, use the word
State.
spate here. A brutal
Interesting.
homicide spreads across the city. Officer Miller finds himself neck deep in trouble, trying to deal with something far beyond his comprehension and powers. People say an infernal demon cop, so yeah, has been terrorizing the weak, linking its superhuman strength to a dark secret dating back decades. Either way, someone, or better yet, something prowls the streets, killing innocents. And with the police station's New Year's Eve party just around the corner, no one is safe from harm, including detectives. But an ancient evil has lashed onto the town, demanding blood. Who can stop the Amityville disease? Okay. Sounds better than it actually was.
The,
That's
the
like that
description,
would hook me in. I'd be like, oh, cool. And I watch it. I'm like,
the
I
description
guess that's the movie.
sounds so much better than what it was, and
I
I
know
think,
they should have had whoever wrote that description write the movie.
oh, I know, right? Like, and they even had a cameo from, was it Beverly D'Angelo in it too? I think.
Hmm?
Wasn't she like the satanic priestess or something?
Uh,
Look
Not
in there.
D'Angelo. Nicole D'Angelo.
Okay, okay, okay. Never mind, never
Was
mind.
she related to? I don't think she's related. I think she's
Think
just.
when I seen the last name, it threw me off. So no, never mind. It
Oh,
was.
okay. No, no, no. I don't think she's
I don't
any
think they had.
relation to Beverly.
I don't
I don't
think they
think
had.
Beverly would let her daughter or cousin or anyone in her family be a part of this
I don't
movie.
think. I don't think she would let anybody in her family touch this one.
Yeah, she'd be
The
like, "You can't bring the D'Angelo name down,"
no, no, no. The I will give credit to, I can't think of the actor who played the male cop, the one that was kind of had a like smart mouth. Um,
You're
his
talking
acting,
about the guy who played Miller.
yeah, his acting actually was not half bad. I mean, the
He
whole
was
movie.
what? He was Kevin Hart and Chris Tucker and all those loudmouth,
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah,
characters.
kind of all those combined. It actually, his character actually flowed. It was actually my favorite part of the film, just watching him with his smart mouth. I don't know why, but
Smart mouth. There were times where I wasn't buying it though. Like, I
yeah,
mean, okay, first you're a cop, and you're going on and on to your no chief or captain or whatever, no matter how much the captain likes you, are you going to get away with like having a huge monologue about what you did and everything like that? Like that whole scene in the office just made me go, this is movie, this is a movie. And it took me away from actually enjoying it, because uh as a writer, I tend to try to make sure that when I'm writing a scene that it doesn't take you out of the scene, right?
right,
So when you
yes,
write a scene, you're not supposed to be thinking, I'm watching a movie. You're supposed to be thinking, oh my God, I'm like invested in what is happening at this. A perfect example is Tarantino. Tarantino is very great at just making you just get relaxed and get into the situations you're in just by their dialogue. He would
yeah,
never write a character like him doing the stuff in the beginning. Now, later, he becomes sort of a little bit more funny because he's sort of the comic relief, but
yeah,
it would drive a lot of people nuts because he's just so obnoxious at
yeah,
times that, like, for me, I'm used. I like Chris Tucker. I like Kevin Hart. I like Chris Rock. I like all those kind of characters that have come before that have played these obnoxious, Chris Rock maybe not as much, but um, Chris Tucker in Rush Hour or Kevin Hart in Ride Along. You know, you look at those movies, both cop movies,
Hmm.
they're sort of similar to how Miller is or whatever. But
Right.
I think he brought a little bit of himself into that. So, I mean, he wasn't completely like that. I just think he
Yeah.
was written that way.
I think the writing, yeah, the writing itself says it right there. I think it definitely probably in some of the actors, some of them you could tell they may have not had a whole lot of experience. Um,
You
and
think?
it makes me wonder if it may have been one of those to where if people bought a perk, they could be in the film type of thing. Nothing against that by any means. I mean,
Hey,
perks.
you've done it.
I did, and
Yeah,
it.
and you know what? And you were wonderful.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It helped that I actually had some experience. That
Right.
definitely, which there's nothing wrong with a perk, whatever, to be in the film, whatever. But it seemed like there was a lot of people in there that nothing personal against them, but their acting just it looked like you were watching a movie
Yeah.
and not watching. Oh, this is really going on, type of thing. When you usually watch, good acting in a film, but also too the writing didn't help. It definitely,
Mhm.
even if they had a seasoned actor in there, I don't know if it would have been easy to pull off making it, you know,
Well, the seasoned actor probably would have pulled the writer director aside, or writer director aside and said,
yeah,
we need to fix this up because, or they would have made it their own, which would have included some improv, and stuff and changing the script around to whatever. Um, I don't know if any of these actors are, see, a lot of them work with the same people. So, um, I noticed that. So that guy who plays Miller, Jason Toller,
yeah,
he was in a movie called Night Cops, also directed by Gregory Hana Hananaka or Hatanaka, who is the same guy who made Amityville Cop,
okay.
who also made Samurai Cop 2. You know,
Oh, Samurai Cop 2.
it's not a good movie, but it's fun.
That's
It
not
is
a good.
absolutely ridiculously silly, but
What
it's
what's the level with that and Amityville Cop? What would you put the levels on those with each other?
well, I would say that like Samurai Cop 2 is more fun
It is.
but worse. Amityville, so Samurai Cop 2 is worse but more fun. Amityville Cop, see, it's really hard because now these are all like all cops. They did Night Cops. I mean, he seems to have a thing for cops.
He does.
Yeah. And so was it Amityville Cop is a little bit more polished, I think. I'm thinking like because it's later in the guy's career of directing, he's starting to get a little better at
Yeah.
like polishing it and making it look better, but it's not as much fun. It has some fun in it, but like I mean if you're gonna do Maniac Cop or Zombie Cop and all of them and mix them all together and make a movie, what you gotta do is you gotta make it more funny, and
Oh,
silly and out there and something nobody would suspect, especially something called Amityville Cop. Um, my suggestion would have been, I mean, you're supposed to go to the house, right? So they go to the
right.
house, the Amityville house, and they, and they one of them get possessed, as
Right.
because there's like a death at the Amityville house, and the cops are there, get possessed, and then they can do that stuff. And I think the thing is, I think these people are making a movie called Demon Cop, and then last minute said, let's slap the Amityville name on it because that's what it felt like to me. Like it didn't feel. I don't think anywhere in the movie did they mention Amityville.
No, they didn't actually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it honestly would have made more sense if it was to Demon Cop, honestly, because I
Well,
didn't
I think
see
it
any.
is a demon cop, and I think that's the only reason why they never called it that.
That might be right. Maybe they called it Amityville because he was possessed, but yet it had nothing to do with Amityville. It kind of was a little confusing. It kind of catches you though. It gets your attention though.
Right.
Um,
I mean, you're looking up Amityville because you're bored on Tubi, and you're
right,
like, I want to see an Amityville movie I haven't seen because there's a billion of them on there now.
Right.
An Amityville Death Toilet. I'm not making that up. That's the title. And you look that
Really?
up and you see these things and you go,
Really?
what?
Seriously?
That is the
Is it?
title. I'm not lying. I'm making that up. It's the title for real.
Oh my God. I gotta look
Amityville
that.
Death Toilet. And I I hope that there's an actual, I mean, on the poster there's a toilet. Really hope that it's not just misleading, the title.
If it's
But
misleading.
a toilet killing people. I mean, at this rate, why not? We've already done everything else. I mean, my cure can start killing people now. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody drinks coffee. There you go, Amityville coffee maker. I mean, that's literally what people are doing today. Is they
And
are just looking around their house and go Amityville lamp. It's like the scene in Anchorman. I love lamp. You know, I love death toilets. I love cop.
oh my God. And Amityville underwear. I need to have that too.
Amity undies. Yeah, Amityville shit stain. I don't know. Like they just come up with anything and slap Amityville on it, and people will buy it. People will oh my goodness, you have no idea how many companies love these like Wild Eye releasing, SRS cinemas, all of those companies love. I think there's more. I'm gonna guess there's a lot more companies that will take Amityville movies, and there's no point to them. There's no point to them because they're never. I mean, they're never as good as the original Amityville movies,
Oh God,
and
no.
I don't think that's not the plan. The plan is just to slap the name on it because you can't. It's like because you can't copyright a name. It would be like Washington, D.C. You can't copyright. Somebody can't say, that's mine. You can't call it, Washington, D.C. something, takeover or something,
Right.
Washington, D.C. death toilet. See, I mean, I'm just coming up with the people that are checking this out, hopefully are Amityville writers and will go and make something like that,
You know, I bet somebody will make one now. I guarantee they will make one. And it has to be storyline's supposed to be like, the title is Washington D.C. Death Toilet, Amityville Death Toilet in Washington D.C., but it'll actually be in Nebraska. Something just like that, outrageous. But somebody will make one. I guarantee they'll write a story like that. I guarantee it.
All right. Uh, I don't know. Um, so
I
yeah, I
I don't.
at this rate, I'm just and the characters. I can't even get really into this. We talked about this. This is going to be a short review. I can't really get into this because, I mean, of course we'd spoil everything, whatever. But it's not. There's nothing that's new that hasn't been done in some way or another. You know.
There's everything in there that's been done at some point, like an extremely long monologue talking in the satanic circle that I had trouble following that, man. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to spoil anything, hopefully I'm not spoiling anything there because but it definitely had its moments to where I kind of was like, okay, can we move on, please, with
Yeah,
that.
there was a lot of stuff too. Like there was a lot of slow moments, and I'm like, what in the world is it? Like? It was a short movie. It was like only an hour and 15 minutes or something, and I'm like, how or 20 or something like that, but like short. And I was like, How can this be boring? Like, come on, like at least And then there was the cop was like kill not even arresting, like he was pulling people over and you know it felt like how can somebody get away with that anyway without
Right.
people going calling the cops and saying, you've got a crazy cop on your hand that's, whatever, I guess maybe they never live, to be able to run it there, you
Maybe
know.
not.
I don't know. Um If there's in no reason, like there's so much cop hate now that at this rate people will be like, I bet there are demons on the cops, like
There
no,
probably there probably somebody out there that probably does think that. I'm sure
no.
it's
Well, anyway, I honestly thought it was an okay movie. It didn't have anything. It wasn't like anything to run home about. Like I don't want to go and preach people, hey, go see Amityville Cop. If you want to see Amityville Cop, go watch Amityville Cop. That's going to be my recommendation. Is there anything else you want to discuss? Is there anything specific you thought? Because like literally, this is probably one of my least favorite, and this includes there was a movie that me and John Ward did, or John Ward and I, sorry, grammatically correct.
eh,
John Ward and I reviewed a movie that was so bad,
really
but that at least had so much fun to talk about. The problem I have with this movie is the people who made it have made countless movies, and they should know how to make a better movie by now. And they seem, I don't know, maybe I should check more of their stuff out before I say that, but like I feel like these guys should be doing better than they are, you know?
maybe better with the next 10 films.
Next 20 films that they do. Because like a lot of these guys do just make a movie a month, it feels like, and then put the stuff out. So I don't know how many this guy Greg Hatanaka does, but he and this guy, the writer of it, I'm not gonna lie, the writer of it is what's his name? Gino McGahee. McGahee? Don't ask. But he
Okay.
writes a lot of this stuff or produces. He produced Amityville Emmanuel. You remember the Emmanuel series that they used to have? Sort of
Yeah,
like
yes.
erotic stuff or whatever. Yeah, so it's Amityville Emmanuel. Which I guess can't copyright Emmanuel either, right? Like, because that's a name. So
Yeah,
it'd be
no.
like copyrighting Dale, you know,
All right.
Amityville Dale.
Oh, that sounds scary in itself.
You should make that.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God, he co-produced Call Me Emmanuel. He's been doing a lot of Manuel movies. The
Wow.
Awakening of Manuel. Um, but yeah, so Satanic Meat Cleaver Massacre. Now that sounds fun. That's on Tubi.
That does sound actually fun. It has a good tight ring to that title.
That better be a lot more fun than, than this one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he did a lot of stuff, so good for him. Like, I'm not saying his writing was bad. I think there's just a little boring at times, and I think that it could have been better. And I feel like if they had sort of made it crazier and off the wall, it would have been more fun. But I think the fact that it felt safe and kind of boring, you know?
It felt safe. It kind of felt a little boring. It felt like there was just some dead space moments that they could have done something a little different because it was just there were so many times where the pacing was just so slow
Uh-huh.
that they could have definitely done something a little different to liven it up a little bit. I mean, with an Amityville cop and a demon cop, you definitely could have some more liveliness to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, you could, but they didn't. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little harsh on this movie. Um, but is like if I'm saying this review and somebody is like, "Oh, I want to check out the review of Amityville Cop," and they go and check this review out, they're just they're gonna probably if they're looking up Amityville Cop reviews, they probably want to see Amityville Cop, like whether or not. So my suggestion for Mr. Person who wants to go check it out, don't listen to me. Go watch it anyway on Tubi because you may like it, you may not. It's got its I'm sure there are people that love this kind of crazy stuff, but like I said, Samurai Cop 2 was more fun because it was off the wall, bonkers, silly, and it was exactly what this movie wasn't. And I feel
Okay.
like if that movie, if they had taken a turn with that and made this like, had like weird, wacky like ninjas pop up or something, or like the Amityville cop fights the Yakuza. I mean, that would have been awesome.
That
But
would have been. That would have
eh,
been.
but what we got was like Amityville cop sort of walking around and then going, see ya for a little bit, and then coming back years later and causing more disturbance. And then, you know, and then like he killed people. That the deaths were cool. I like the deaths. Like that was probably the best part.
That's were
But,
pretty cool. They
you
were pretty.
know, yeah. And I like the main guy. I like the main two cops, the partners. I enjoyed them. I didn't buy that at the end of it they would hook up, Like I was like, no, no, no. I I didn't see her as that type of person that was like that. So I felt like that was like, okay, we're just throwing you guys a thing like all of a sudden, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But not my problem. Not my circus, not my monkeys, not my script. I mean, I wouldn't have gone there unless you set it up earlier where they sort of were starting to fall in love for each other or something. Wouldn't just randomly be like, hey, what, we should, like that to me wasn't even funny. It was just like, what are they doing? Like, it's just like random. But aside from that, yeah. Um, all in all, it was a movie.
It was a movie.
That's
Yes.
gonna be my quote. You should put that on the Amityville Cop cover of like if they go 4K. But it was a movie. Jonathan Moody of horror film lovers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It goes 4K. I like that.
Yeah, if it goes 4K someday, you know. I think it has
Or
to go Blu-ray first, then 4K. Sometimes though, they do just release the 4K with the Blu-ray together, so,
never know.
I don't know, I see this in Ultra HD, you know.
Oh,
He'll be pointing at you, or what is that what he's doing right there?
please, please don't go away and come back later, please.
I mean, is he pointing at you?
I think so. Oh,
He's just pointing.
he's just yeah, kind of pointing with his finger, like ah.
Yeah, it's not very scary. Like even his face isn't that terrifying right there, you know.
The eyes. I mean, they're kind of a reddish tint, red, kind of a little bit.
Contacts are very nice these days.
They are. They
Yeah.
really are.
Oh Lord. Oh man, this is a cheap movie, but it was a movie. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
It's
Unless somebody made me watch it. Like somebody was like, I really, really badly want to watch Amityville Cop. I'm like, can we watch any other Amityville movie on Tubi? No. Fine. Let's watch this movie again. You know.
same
Though
here.
maybe if they did release a 4K that have commentary and I can hear why they made all these silly decisions that they made, then
That
that
would
might
be it.
actually be more fun than the movie.
Oh yeah, if they had commentary playing in the like while the movie is playing, oh
Mhm.
that'd be cool. I'd actually watch that. That'd be entertaining. That really would.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes commentary is more fun than the movie, you
I
know?
know.
Because like you hear the making of it and everything, you're like, oh man, that guy really fucked that up. Okay. Because when they really get into real shit, and stuff, that's the more fun part,
Oh yeah.
and everything. But anyway, well, that's it. Thank you guys for checking out our first time watch Friday episode of Amityville Cop or Demon Cop the remake. Because there is a movie called Demon Cop. But yeah, this was not. I mean, once again, I don't think it was supposed to be the town of Amity, I guess, but like, don't really hear too much about it. If there ever was a mention, if there was, it was very small mention, really quick, and just to get that in there. And I literally don't think this movie was made to be an Amityville movie. I think this was made to be Demon Cop. They realized, oh shit, we don't have the rights, we can't do Demon Cop. There already is a Demon Cop. Let's do. Plus, there's no like exorcist. Like when there's a demon, there's an exorcist.
Right.
In this, there's just a possessed man who I forgot how he even died. Like how he, I mean, how he like did he even die at the end?
Man, it's been a while since we watched it. I can't
Uh, we
remember.
we were supposed to do this a while ago, and then our schedules kept interfering with us and stuff, and kept messing up, and so we pushed it back until late, and then we're like, so. But anyway,
I'm thinking
yeah,
he died. Thinking he died if they hooked up at the end. They must have been celebrating, so he must have died.
yeah, he died,
Yeah,
but
he died.
somebody came back, like there was a twist at the end or whatever with that shit. So
But hey, that's why if anybody is curious enough, you'll have to find out for us and let us know if he comes back.
please go watch this movie, please, and tell us how tell us who we're wrong, you know.
And
Please
please,
tell us how we're wrong. Like, explain it. The writer and director, I guarantee you, they're looking up Amityville, Cop on YouTube, and they'll pop up and say, "Oh, Amityville Cop. Oh, somebody reviewed it," and then they'll be like, "Oh crap, it's a negative review." I don't know. Do they expect positive reviews? I don't. It's hard, man.
if you've been making enough films, at some point you're going to know that to expect some type of negative review. So hopefully they would expect that at some point.
Probably. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for checking this out. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Thank you, Dale. You're
Thank.
awesome. You'll be
Are you?
back. We'll be back for another review.
Yes.
Hopefully, I'll try to give you something a little nicer, a little easier to watch. But I mean, this wasn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, I've
No.
seen worse. Um, I mean,
I,
I've seen way, way worse, and some of them are in the Amityville like catalog and everything. Not the real Amityville, but the people, the independent people who make it. But this was, mm, you
it
know,
was a
this could have
movie.
been better. That's all I'm gonna say. Could have been better.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for checking this out, and join me in 2 weeks or so. But one of the Fridays coming up for a brand new episode. Till then, everybody, bye.